The Nationals get a much needed series win, and also not even just a needed win, but something that the young guys can learn from, the big win in Chicago.
You are Locked On Nationals, your daily Washington Nationals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And thank you all for making Locked On Nationals your first listen every single day, as we are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And later on in today's program, we'll have a discussion surrounding Josiah Gray, who had Tommy John surgery last summer, actually made his first rehab appearance since being shut down with Tommy John and looked pretty good. We'll have that discussion later on in the show today. And where will he be by the end of this season? We'll have that discussion later on in the show today alongside a Marlins series preview. And in the second segment, it is a Monday, so let's get back into the typical stuff. Who has been hot and who has been up, who has been down? Your stock report for the Washington Nationals and all your latest individual performances of those Nats. But we start off discussing the series win against the Chicago Cubs. Didn't start that pretty on Friday, but then ended real nice. And of course, today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. And yes, take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. So this Nationals Cubs series was a lot more than just a series win. We went into this series kind of saying that, hey, this is the Nationals October. This is the time where you are kind of playing your postseason baseball in the month of September, when you're playing against teams and in environments in which they are expected to win. This is exactly that. And the Nationals did a great job this weekend. In game one, obviously, things did not go our way. And yeah, the Chicago Cubs are a very good team, and they took advantage of Jake Irvin. But as the series went on, I saw exactly what I came here for. Number one, I wanted to see my young players step up, and that is exactly what happened this weekend. For all those out there who may just kind of look at the box score now and may not watch the games anymore, you should be watching Brad Lord every time out. Brad Lord on Saturday, even after some of the struggles that he has had over his past few starts, he looked incredible. Again, in that start at Wrigley Field, just was probably one of his better starts over the last couple of them. 5 2/3 innings pitched, only 2 hits given up, struck out 7, and only gave up that 1 earned run. In the previous start before that, and the previous 2 starts before that, he gave up 7 earned runs and 6 earned runs. Brad Lord going up against a good Cubs offense completely shut them down. And by the way, in a day that the ball was flying out there, Brad Lord kept it in the yard for the most part. And again, looked the part to be a big piece for the Nationals moving forward. And that's kind of what you want. The Nationals do not get postseason baseball again. The big overwhelming point for September for a team that is completely out of it at this point is to see what your young guys can do. And also, when you have environments like Wrigley Field, or whether you're going to San Diego, or whether you're going to Yankee Stadium, places like that, in hostile environments and kind of those October playoff atmosphere moments, what do your young guys do? Brad Lord responded, and he looked really good. And again, the Nationals needed that in a big way, by the way. So that was really cool to see on Saturday. But I want to talk about yesterday's game real quick, and really just the ending of it. How about the Nationals in the 9th inning? How about that performance by Robert Hassel III, who gets the thing going in the top of the 9th? And then, of course, Josh Bell's 3-run home run. That was an incredible win by this team. And again, going into it, you don't really have the expectations because, number one, when this team is down by a couple of runs, and let's say it was 2 runs yesterday entering the 9th, they're usually out of it. They make it a little scrappy at times, but still, we have kind of adjusted to the norm here, in which the Nationals are probably going to lose that ball game. And quite frankly, a lot of major league teams will end up losing that ball game. How about a solo home run by Robert Hassel III and then a 3-run home run by Josh Bell to make it 5-3? That is resilient baseball right there. When you are going up against, again, the Cubs and really looking at it, their bullpen right now is a complete mess. When you have a rookie closer, Daniel Palencia, with the Cubs, this is the kind, or not really a rookie anymore, but his first full season in Major League Baseball, he's had some struggles with them. And as we saw yesterday, he got crushed in the 9th inning. Seeing Robert Hassel up there with good at-bats and also Josh Bell just kind of makes you feel good. These guys are responding for these big moments, of which you don't really get too many of those. When the series is tied up 1-1 in a 3-game series, you're going up against the Cubs. It was a very windy day yesterday. The ball seemed to be flying. And fortunately enough for the Nationals, they got that wind stream out into left center field because not only did Robert Hassel hit that home run to make it 3-2, but then Josh Bell hit that same exact spot, 3-run home run into the basket of Wrigley Field. That is winning baseball right there. And again, this is kind of the thing that we should be expecting moving forward with this Nationals team. You want to see your young guys do really well. You want to see them go up against big time, really good talent with this Cubs team. And they responded in a big, big way. And Andrew Alvarez as well. Yesterday's start wasn't like mind-blowingly good, but he kept the Nationals in the game. And again, for what his second start of the season, Andrew Alvarez continues to be a very good arm for this Nationals team. Over his first 2 starts here, let's go through the numbers real quick. 9 2/3 innings pitched, only 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs. He did give up that home run, unfortunately. 5 walks to 6 strikeouts. Again, not overwhelmingly good numbers, but again, getting good results for this team. I'm not saying Andrew Alvarez is going to be in the top 5 of your rotation moving forward. For the rest of the season, he absolutely should be a part of a 6-man rotation for this team. But what he has shown me is that he at least responds to some of the pressure. And as we have seen with the Nationals, they have done really well developing left-handed pitching. Mitchell Parker, even though he's been off and on a lot of different times, he's overall kind of a success story. DJ Hers, I put in that category as well. He's a success story coming off Tommy John earlier this spring. We'll see what he does in 2026. And then Jose Frere as well. Jose Frere has been dominant out of the bullpen in the second half of the season. He's your Nationals closer. He comes in, he gets the save again yesterday, and the Nationals look the part to, again, being that young, scrappy team in September that you want to see take those next steps up. So watching those Nationals yesterday, and really the last few games, a ton of fun. This is why you tune in September. This is why you can kind of hold on to a little bit of hope while watching your Commanders play, but also with the Nationals, and kind of just get excited again. This felt like postseason baseball. And while it's not, the players can respond to that. And while the players do respond to that, it kind of goes to show you who's going to show up in big situations. Robert Hassel, he showed up in a big way. Josh Bell, he showed up in a big way. And yes, of course, the guy that we have been talking about, Dalen Lyle, hitting his 8th triple of the season in just 252 at-bats. Top 3 in the National League at this point in triples. He showed up in a big way. You're seeing these young guys respond. Brad Lord, Andrew Alvarez, Robert Hassel, Dalen Lyle. It'd be nice to see CJ Abrams and James Wood, but we'll save that discussion for later on in the program sometime soon. Thank you all for making Locked On Nationals your first listen every single day, as we are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, if you haven't done so already, look us up, Locked On Nationals, over on YouTube. Look it up and search it up and hit that subscriber button. Now let's talk about some Nat stock reports. Who has been up and who has been down? We'll have your latest individual performances on the Washington Nationals after this. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they are worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or even investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. And that's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or even your phone. And Monarch is built for people with busy lives. And if you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you, because Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. And you can identify that you aren't saving as much as you thought. Monarch helps you notice an inefficient investment allocation and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs. And maximizing investments, they can help on that too. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks, and use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Again, code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And thank you all for making Locked On Nationals your first listen every single day, as we are free and available wherever you get your podcast. If you guys have not done so already, again, look up Locked On Nationals wherever you get your podcast, over on Apple, Spotify, and of course, the video version as well over on YouTube. Look up Locked On Nationals, hit that subscriber button, drop a comment in the YouTube comment section, and go forward and listen to some Nationals talk. So next, let's talk about this, a National stock report. We haven't done it in a few weeks here, but let's get you up to date on some of the latest National performances. And I've got just another good thing to say about Dalen Lyle. Stock up for Dalen Lyle. Over his last 15 games, he is batting .364, a .407 OBP, a .600 slug. In that time frame as well, 20 hits, 9 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 4 triples, and 2 doubles, and only 6 strikeouts over his last 15 games. His profile is eerily similar to Luis Garcia Jr., but in the best way possible. When I think of Luis Garcia Jr., I think of someone who's going to put the ball in play, number one. He's going to hit for a high average, or he has the ability to hit for a high average, but also has the potential to hit for some power. Dalen Lyle is that, except on steroids, as far as I'm concerned. Not literally, figuratively speaking. Dalen Lyle can run the bases, number one. One of the fastest guys in the National League at this point. I believe he's an 89th percentile sprint speed. He runs the base pass smart. He's a really good base runner overall. He's fast. And again, he just understands baseball. He understands the moment and knows when to not get thrown out. What we have seen from Dalen Lyle recently just further cements him as being a big piece to this future. I believe right now that it's not even a debate at this point. Dalen Lyle is going to be in your opening day lineup in 2026. I don't know if there's anyone out there debating that at this point. I think it's just a foregone conclusion. Even if it wasn't for the success, his tools are way too good to just pass up opportunities for. Again, what he has done as of recent, when he's starting to get consistent at bats, being in the lineup every single day, he's hitting for average. He's not striking out. He's putting the ball in play. He's getting triples. He's hitting doubles. He has some home run power with him as well. The potential of Dalen Lyle has been the biggest storyline to watch in the second half. His breakout continues to be wildly impressive for the Nationals moving forward. And again, looking at his overall numbers, he's batting .282 with a .770 OPS. I mean, this is not a small sample size either. This is 252 at-bats. And however many games that he has played, 72 games this year, and he's got a .444 slug, 4 home runs in total, 13 doubles to 8 triples and 4 home runs, 44 strikeouts. Again, for someone who is so young and someone who we thought might take a little while to really kind of get developed at the major league level, this has been a quick and easy transition for Dalen Lyle, And again, he is the biggest storyline right now for the Nationals in this second half. The hot hitting that he has been doing gives you hope for what could be a massive career for Dalen Lyle. So stock up for Dalen Lyle. And of course, a stock up is also followed by a stock down, and that is James Wood. Listen, I'm not worried about James Wood moving forward, but we're here to give you individual performances. James Wood has been quiet over his last 10 games, only 1 home run, 16 strikeouts, and a 306 slug. Listen, James Wood again, this second half, probably the second biggest storyline has been his struggles. Ever since the home run derby and the All-Star game, James Wood has kind of fallen off a little bit. He had that period where he was striking out in like 40% of his at-bats. The strikeout rate is still very high. The power rate is not there. The slugging, only a 306 slug over his last 10 games. The struggles have been real with James Wood. We understand that at this point. But the long-term future for him, he's still going to be an all-star. In my opinion, he'll be in the MVP conversation if the Nationals are good someday, which hopefully they will be. And I'm not worried about this. Again, I think James Wood is the premier superstar player on this team. He's continuing to be that. While he is kind of struggling over these last few months, I'm not concerned overall here. It's been nearly 2 months of these, by the way. Again, high strikeout rates. We were talking about someone who had really good numbers. I mean, again, someone who had like a 940 OPS in the month of July. And right now, he's got an 818 OPS and batting 255. He was on pace to hit like mid-40s home runs. And right now, where he stands today, he's at 27 home runs. And over his last 30 games, he only has 3 home runs. That's probably the biggest issue going for James Wood right now. So while he has been struggling, and while it has been real, and while it has been frustrating even at times, I'm not concerned about the star left fielder. He's going to be a star moving forward. He's still young. He has finally hit a brick of walls as of recent these past few months here. But again, the power's going to come back. Let's hope he finishes the season strong and makes some tweaks in the offseason. Stock up for Clayton Beeter. Clayton Beeter at the deadline. You trade away Ahmed Rosario, and it's kind of like, okay, let's wait and see what they get back. Then you get Clayton Beeter, a former top prospect of the Dodgers, a former top prospect at the Yankees, someone who the Yankees, I followed the Yankees pretty closely, actually, and a lot of people believe that he would be maybe a starter for them, but also a solid relieving option, and he's been the latter from the Nationals. He has been a great reliever here in DC, and over his last really 7 appearances, catch this stat line out. 7 innings pitched in total, 1 hit allowed, 0 earned runs, and 11 strikeouts. And even deeper into that, check out his last 15 appearances. Only 3 earned runs, 3 hits allowed, 16 strikeouts in 14 innings pitched. Clayton Beeter with the Washington Nationals has proven to be probably the best arm out of this Nationals bullpen right now. I would actually probably give it to Jose Ferrer, but as we sit here today, Clayton Beeter with the game on the line, I'm giving him a chance. I love the stuff that he has. Again, he is getting a ton of swings and misses. He's getting a ton of strikeouts, 19 strikeouts in 15 innings pitched. This guy is a very, very good relief guy. And again, over the last 2 months here, since the Nationals have kind of reworked this bullpen, they have been elite at times. They have been, in fact, some of the top categories, top stats as far as bullpens go. And Clayton Beeter has been at the forefront of this. And again, he has been someone who continues to improve and continues to get better. And as he gets in these high leverage situations, you have to feel good about it. And as we saw with yesterday's game, or actually, yeah, in yesterday's game, he came in for an inning and a third, struck out 3 batters in that time frame. He continues to prove the Nationals right and continues to prove that he is going to be one of the main pieces of this Nationals bullpen and kind of fill that Hunter Harvey role. And in my opinion, this next guy up, we're going to give a stock up to, is going to be your closer. And that is Jose Ferrer. Jose A. Ferrer has been incredible for this Nationals team. Got his 7th save of the season yesterday, actually back-to-back saves in back-to-back days. I was a little worried when the Nationals brought him out there yesterday. He did walk that one batter, and it's kind of like, oh boy, here we go. Did give up the hit, made a little bit tight there in the ninth, but Jose Frere continues to get the job done. And if you look at his numbers, really over the last couple of months here, over his last 30 appearances, he has only given up 6 earned runs. He has 30 strikeouts as well. Only 4 walks. 4 walks over his last 33 innings pitched for someone who could not find the strike zone early on. And when he was finding the strike zone, he was missing middle. Whatever tweak the Nationals have made with Jose Frere, keep it that way. This guy has proven to be, in my opinion, I actually chose him to be an all-star entering this season. I love Jose Frere. I love the stuff that he brings. Again, I think he's going to be your Nationals' future closer moving forward. There's no discussion about it. I wanted him to be the closer, even with Kyle Finnegan back in town. So seeing Jose Frere kind of reap the benefits of whatever changes they have made with him, he looks incredible. And again, you have got a closer for the future. And also that 1-2 punch that the Nationals did have last year with Hunter Harvey and Kyle Finnegan. You have that now, the 2 young arms with Clayton Beeter, number 1 in the 8th inning, and then your closer, Jose Frere. 1 righty, 1 lefty. Jose Frere is nasty, and he gets a ton of swings and misses similar to Clayton Beeter. And the Nationals might have their 1-2 punch out of the bullpen for hopefully the next 5+ seasons. And that is a good sign for a team that is trying to contend. So speaking for a team that is trying to contend, that's the Miami Marlins music. And also, with that in mind, Josiah Gray made his first start back since having Tommy John surgery last year. So let's get you caught up on that after this. This episode is brought to you by Zippix toothpicks. And whether you're looking for a nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligrams and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. And of course, I love the taste of Zippix as well. I've used the caffeine toothpick for big meetings and long drives, and they gave me the energy without the jitters, and the flavors like peppermint watermelon ice, they actually taste great. Again, it's keeping that summer flavor alive with the watermelon, but also keeping you cool with that summer heat with the ice, and it just has a perfect match for you. So go to zippixtoothpicks.com and use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks. Again, Zippix toothpicks. And thank you all for making Locked On Nationals your first listen every single day, as we are free and available wherever you get your podcast. So Josiah Gray made his first minor league rehab appearance yesterday, which was the Wilmington Blue Rocks final game of the season. And Josiah Gray, again, looked the part for someone who's, number 1, rehabbing, but number 2, just looked good. It's been well over a year since his first start. He just started throwing live BP a few weeks ago, finally gets back out in the mound and looked good. 1 1/3 innings pitched, 0 hits, did walk 2 batters, had a strikeout, 34 pitches, and 18 strikes. This felt like a good step in getting him back in the rotation, not this season, but next season. And Josiah Gray, whether, we've all kind of joked about it, or not joked about it, but there's a lot of people saying, like, is he a part of this future? Listen, he was an all-star in 2023, but that's because someone had to be an all-star for that team. It wasn't going to be CJ Abrams. He struggled out the gate that year. James Wood was down in the minors. Dylan Cruz was not even part of the organization at that point. Josiah Gray was the all-star. He deserved it to be on that team, and he was good. But I also think that kind of set up some unfair expectations for him. I like Josiah Gray, but in reality of things, if he turns out to be a 4-5 starter for this team, that's a win at this point in time. And again, that's not a sign of disrespect for him. He is a good, solid pitcher. But probably the Nationals would even tell you themselves, if he turns out to be a 4 or 5 starter, that's a success for this team. And you can kind of take that and run with it and do whatever you want with it. Because again, he's good and at times really good, but also at times he gives up the long ball. At times he walks a lot of guys. If he can kind of fix these things, then obviously the expectations will come. But as of right now, getting back into what is the now, he's not going to be on your major league staff this season. He's going to make a couple more rehab appearances here. He'll go to AA, he'll go to AAA then, and probably end out the season in AAA. And then next year, spring training, ramp him up, get him back to 100%. And then maybe you'll see him start with the major league squad right away, right off the bat. So good to see Josiah Gray get back on things. But now the Nationals, they have to get back on things. After winning a series in Chicago, you now head to the Miami Marlins. So the Miami Marlins have just completely fallen off down the stretch here. And for the Nationals, good luck. You've got Cade Cavalli on the bump tonight. And again, the Miami Marlins, they've got Jansen Junk, which is one of the best names in all of baseball today. Jansen Junk, come on, with a mustache. Love that name. So he starts against the Washington Nationals tonight. Doesn't really go too deep into ball games, but we'll see what the Nationals can do. Because again, the Nationals, you're not fighting for much at this point. The Marlins aren't fighting for much either at this point. Let's see what you can do. And let's get a series win against the Fish. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one. Go Nats.